Woke movies are not good, and I think Hollywood is finally catching on. Now, what do I mean by woke movies? I'm talking about the movies that care more about your sexuality, your gender, or your skin color than they do about a good plot. The movies where they'll take a character you know and love and gender swap them or race swap them or just completely butcher them because they think that the character that you love is toxic or doesn't belong in modern thinking.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
This guy right here, he must be one of those crazy conservatives. He's just mad that representation is happening in movies now.
And the answer is no. I literally don't care about any of those things. I just care about good stories. I love comic books, I love movies, and I'm tired of people taking these characters that we know and love and just changing their sexuality or their gender and then expecting it to just check a box and for us to be like, oh, thank you for making Batman a girl or something like that. Now, luckily, as far as I know, they haven't made Batman a girl.
I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be.
When it fits a woman.
Nope.
I sense I've made a mistake of some kind.
That's not that far off to the things they're doing nowadays. Like, I'm pretty sure we have a female Silver Surfer coming out in the Fantastic Four movie. Now, that's not really the point of this video. The main point of this video is that I want to talk about why these movies don't work. One of the main reasons why it doesn't work is because you're basically alienating the fans, right? You're saying, hey, I know you're a fan of Batman or I know you're a fan of Superman, but if you like the old Superman and not our Superman, then you're a bigot, you're a terrible person. The Superman you know and love, yeah, that guy, yeah, we switched it to a completely different thing. And if you don't like it, it's because you are a bad person. And that's probably one of the best ways to make sure that your product doesn't work, because what little fan base you did have that cares about it, that cares about the continuity, you just alienated them. I also noticed that a lot of the people who make these movies are very okay with canceling people with cancel culture. You know, if I saw a tweet that you made when you were 16 years old, you shouldn't have done that. Which leads me to believe, I don't think they believe in redemption, which is like a huge key component when you're writing a character. You don't want to write a character who's just perfect in the beginning and ends up perfect in the end. Captain Marvel is a perfect example of this, right? Carol Danvers has these great powers, and she's already one of the strongest people in the movie. You would think she has a flaw, right? Because everyone's pointing out her flaw. They're saying, you know what? You're too emotional. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. But plot twist, apparently, her emotions is what makes her even stronger, and she should have just never listened to all those people telling her the wrong thing. And she has so much girl power and she could just do whatever she wants, right? And everybody else has to conform to her rather than her overcoming something, right? There's no obstacles or battles she has to overcome. And you may not know, I'm a Christian and I believe in redemption, and I think redemption is one of the best story arcs that you can possibly go through, right? Zuko starts off wanting to kill the Avatar. His redemption arc through, even turning his back on his uncle, and then he overcomes those things and realizes the error of his ways. Redemption, right? Super cool. But for some reason, these people who don't believe in redemption, they don't believe that you can start one way and then become a better person. And so for them, they have to write their character perfect in the beginning because there's no such thing as redemption. They're perfect in the beginning, they're perfect in the end, bada bing, bada boom. And you could almost say that like it could be okay if you did it in a more artistic way, but a lot of the writing is just super lazy, and it's like shoving a message down your throat and being like, believe this, and if you don't, you're bad. And time after time, we see Hollywood blaming the fans rather than taking accountability for making trash movies, but instead they blame the fans. They say like, oh, well, it's just all those YouTubers talking bad about it, or these right-wing conservative people review bombing. It's not because we made a bad movie or a bad show. It's because of them. Like, they're just bigots, and that's the reason why it failed. And I have noticed that we're kind of coming to an end of that, because I think even regular people who don't care about politics, like me, are like, guys, come on, right? Like, what's going on here? Most of the people in the world are not racist. So in every single movie we watch, we don't have to be told that we shouldn't be racist. Racism bad, right? Like, that's what all the movie's message is, racism bad, and we're all like, okay, yeah, we agree. Why are you telling us this like 17 million times? We get it. Love people no matter their creed or their racial ethnicity. We get it, okay? You don't have to keep shoving it down our throat. And it's almost like they're writing movies just to show how good of a person they are, rather than writing good stories that everyone can relate to, right? Like, I can't relate to someone who's always been perfect, right? A lot of us have redemption stories. A lot of us started one way and we're growing and becoming something new. And so when we watch movies where someone just starts out perfect, ends perfect, we're just like, I can't really relate to that. No one can, right? Because none of us are perfect. Like, we're all going through life. We're all aiming for a higher good. For me, that's God. And for you, it might be different, but we're all aiming towards something. And when the character is just like the target that you're supposed to be aiming for, you can't relate to that, right? Because I'm not God. I'm not the perfect arbiter of truth, right? So like, to relate to someone who is that, it's hard. We need relatable characters who we can look at and be like, wow, yeah, that character right there, trying their best, just like all of us. Now, I'm not trying to take a political side, because theoretically, you could have a woke movie that is good, right? Like, you could have a movie that attacks social taboos or social issues that is good, right? You just need relatable characters. And if the character in the movie is just, I'm perfect, you're a bad watcher, and so you need to do better.
You've got to do better, Senator.
No one wants to hear that. It's just preachy, and it just doesn't come across as relatable. However, if you have a character who is like flawed and is trying their best to overcome evil with good, then you have a story that people will watch. And it's not about being a girl hero or a man hero or whatever it may be. It's not even about the race of said character. It's just about being relatable. I don't have to look like the person on the screen in order to relate to human experiences. Well, that's just my take. I hope to see yours in the comments down below. Hopefully this video doesn't get me canceled or too much hate before I even get started. But I just had to get that off my chest because it's been really annoying me lately, all the movies that we've been getting. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.